My goats wonder what's going on. It's Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, and I'm heading up to the springs, up there in the mountain, the Hetrix Springs. I'm going to stop here and there and film where I'm leaving. I mean, that's the cherry tree house. This is the house where I live. There's the Gasthaus. That's where I was. That's my strategic pallet supply. This is, I'm going past the site on top of this hill where I plan to build a GER surrounded, G-E-R, surrounded by a Tulou, T-U-L-O-U. A GER is a little like a yurt. A Tulou is a special round community dwelling that they have in China. I'm heading out to the aqueduct. It's the GER Tulou site. This is the aqueduct. I had water in it the whole way across it in the spring. Of course, there's lots of water then. And I was in the process of lining it. But then my water supply got so scarce that I just gave up on that for this year. The next stop is into the woods at the Folk Fold. That's where I was. Now I'm at the edge of the woods, and there is the Folk Fold from the front. There'll be a gate right there in the center. A large gate, castle-like gate. Well, I'm going to walk through the Folk Fold. I'm carrying a couple things, a shovel and some plastic film. So you may hear strange sounds, stranger than normal. There's a shovel. I could have taken that one with me. All these heavy blue pallets, they're not going to be here. That's just material waiting to go up top. And let's see, I'll go this way because it's more, I got more room. I've filmed this recently. Have people worried about my, John Saulnier calls it my house of cards construction technique. I like that. All right, here it is from the back. And now our next stop is the lone abandoned pallet or folk hut. I'm about midway there. There's that outhouse and there's the Folk Fold. And up here you maybe can just make out a patch of white. That's plastic. It's still on the abandoned, there you can probably see it, the abandoned folk hut. There's the abandoned Folk Fold. Folk hut. I'm either I'll probably go back and restore that, probably. If not, I'll disassemble it. Every single part of it can be used in other folk huts. But it waits. I'm standing on what's called the tram road. This had to do with bringing iron. It's very, very old. Had to do with bringing iron ore down. And right at this spot, I had a fountain going. And I plan to get that going again, which is one of the reasons that I'm up here. Next stop is, well, I'll see where, oh, I know, it'll be the minecart track. Correction, I've stopped. There's that lone folk hut and the fountain, abandoned fountain. There's what I'm carrying. But I stopped here because this is where the minecart track, or not the tram road, goes on down there. I'm on my sister and brother-in-law's property now, and they have a friend that uses this a lot with a four-wheeler. And down there is where I've got the new and the newer and the still newer Priso started. The business started down in there. You could almost, well, you can see where it is, but not on the camera. This is pretty hard to see. With the camera, probably nearly impossible. But this is the remains of a minecart track, which comes from a fascinating area up there, which is the substance of another walk. I used this black plastic pipe to bring water along it to that fountain. Now, various logging operations bulldoze their way across this minecart track, but I'm going to walk across where they all met. And here I can see it going again. But I say it was rediscovered by me, actually. It goes out along there. But it was all cut through by the bulldozers. All right, we're going to go on up to a log loading place. Before we get there, I want to point this out. This gully is my doing. I pretty much caused it to happen by bringing water down from up above and using this road as a way to convey it. I'm now going to do something similar. I don't regret that. It was part of the water system that at that time I envisioned. We're almost there. And you can see that water has well, I think this was my doing too, encouraging the water down here. So we're almost there. Up there it is. But I stopped because suddenly there's a lot of this plant growing. I think that's chestnut, American chestnut. Either that or there's something called a chestnut oak, but I don't think. And they only get so big. But there's a lot of it suddenly growing right around this area. Well, the climbing part of this hike is over. This is this road that runs almost on a contour. We're going to go down that way. Right at this point it turns sharply and goes almost straight up the mountain. And this was what was used by the last logging that was done here. Extensive logging, really. Here's a tree that my sister's and husband's friend has planted. He's maintained this road beautifully. I hope he finds out, or he or his friends take a look right down in there to see all that, what I think is chestnut that grows right in there. Well, there's more to say, and on another day I plan to hike up and look at the springs up there, but my principal destination is about 50 yards that way. Here's sweet birch. You can chew this. Kids, when I've had kids up here from school, they're fascinated that here's a tree you can eat. And it's an indicator of water, incidentally, like those ferns. There it is. I'm going to leave it there. And you can see that water runs here often and it runs here strong. But it just isn't now. It is very dry. And here's where I'm going to start seeing how far I can carry that water on the surface.